Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 6th of August and we are going to deal with one very important topic which is in news and multiple subtopics related to it. That is Bangladesh's now ex-Prime Minister flees into India. This fleeing into India is the result of the ongoing protests in Bangladesh. These protests are undertaken by the students and the teachers. Reason Bangladesh High Court reinstated 30% reservation for the family of freedom fighters, which was scrapped off in 2018. This situation means a lot for India in negative development sense. Sheikh Hasina, when she was the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, she was very much tough on the Islamic hardliners, the terrorist organizations which were targeting India, and thus she was considered as a friend of India. But now, with the situation unfolding, things will be different. It is also known that minorities are being targeted in Bangladesh. These minorities are expected to come into India. Minorities like Christians, Hindus, and all. More than 1 crore Hindus live there. And with CAA, that is Citizenship Amendment Act, into place in India, India is expected to give citizens to the non-Muslims of these countries, that is Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. So Bangladesh is in news over here. So there will be increased pressure on the government of India. Yesterday, a political figure from West Bengal noted that West Bengal is expected to give, I would say, shelter to 1 crore Hindu refugees who will be coming from Bangladesh. Now, these kind of statements definitely will motivate them to come into India. And this is not good news for India. Already, the pressure on the resources on India is too high. Already, unemployment is a big question. And on top of that, this happens, that will lead to a lot of problem. So there are multiple concerns for India, and the times for India are also not, I would say, hunky dory or easy in the times to come. So let's see, let's decode, and in the end, we will see that what India can do. But yes, here, Bangladesh ex-Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, she has fled into India, and the reins have been taken over by the army chief Wakar Uz Zaman over there. Has formed an interim government. However, he did consult with the I would say opposition parties over there in Bangladesh. So these things did happen, and the Bangladesh president has dissolved the parliament of Bangladesh. Okay, and one of the opposition leaders, uh, she has been released from prison over there. Now, this all happened due to the students' protest in Bangladesh. The students had been protesting. Why? Because reservation was reinstated. Reservation being reinstated simply means that earlier there was reservation, it was scrapped off, scrapped in 2018, now reinstated in 2024. This led to the protests. Reservation for which category? For freedom fighters. How much reservation? 30% seats were reserved for them. Now, just a background of Bangladesh. Bangladesh, since its inception 1971, had witnessed many military rules in the past. 1975, the founding father of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, was assassinated. Military coup was there. After that, multiple military coups happened. Then, finally, 2009, this democratically elected government was instated. Sheikh Hasina became the prime minister. Then 2014, another elections were there. 19, another elections were there. 2024, the another elections were there. Sheikh Hasina remained the prime minister, but yes, the elections from 2014 onwards, 14, 19, and now 24, were boycotted by the main opposition party over there, that is Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Reason? They alleged that these elections were rigged. They alleged that Sheikh Hasina is into an autocratic rule into Bangladesh. And let's not forget that her father, the founding father of Bangladesh, her father means Sheikh Hasina's father, Banga Bandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, uh, you know, uh, led that freedom movement for Bangladesh, is known as the founding father of Bangladesh. That is why. And she is now giving reservation to 30% reservation amounting of 30% to the freedom fighters. Freedom fighters means those in the Awami League, that political party which, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman headed during the freedom struggle. So she is giving 30% reservation to those people. Now, this is being perceived as that she wants her people to be there in the government so that her autocracy is strengthened more. That is the main purpose why, this was scrapped in 2018. Now, when it is again reinstated in 2024, protesters are out on the street and they are not wanting that to be reinstated. So, reason for protest: June 5 ruling of the Bangladesh High Court reinstating 30% quota for freedom fighters and their descendants in government jobs. It was repealed in 2018 after a massive agitation led by students and teachers, but now again it has been reinstated. Now, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina added fuel to the fire by referring to the protesters. Now, these people were protesting again, students and all. She referred to the protesters as Razakars. Razakars is a derogatory Bangla word for traitors. And this added fuel to the fire. Now, the quota system in Bangladesh. Government jobs in Bangladesh are highly coveted, just like as in India. And a stable, lucrative source of income, it is considered as. Nearly 4 lakh graduate compete every year for around 3,000 such jobs. Similar kind of situation in India. Until 2018, 56% of the government jobs were reserved. 30% for the freedom fighters, 10% women and people from underdeveloped districts, 5% members of tribal communities, 1% reserved for persons with disabilities. And this left only 44% for the unreserved category. Now in 2018, this was scrapped on the demands of the students and teachers. ठीक है भाई, it should be scrapped. Next, 2024, it got reinstated again. So that is why students and teachers are on the road now. So that is there. But the main question over here is that did actually the students and teachers led to the fleeing of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh? Or was there any political involvement in it? Or was there any international involvement in it? These are the questions which need to be addressed. Because the main students' body, the Chhatra Sangh, is the students' organization of the main opposition party over there, that is BNP, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which did not contest the elections since 2014. And now they are doing this way. So that has need to be looked into. Why was this quota contentious? The freedom fighters quota was contentious since many people perceived it to be favoring those loyal to Hasina's party, the Awami League, which led the freedom movement. So, this was there, and adding to people's frustrations were special examinations for quota candidates, varying age limits for each category, and the fact that there remained many vacancies in quota seats, even as eligible candidates in the merit list were unemployed. So, many seats in the quota list were empty, but many eligible candidates were unemployed. Like this, the situation was. Now, what does this situation mean for India? That needs to be understood by us. The country, see the situation in Bangladesh, we know it has been undergoing protest for the last month over the job quota. Like June, there was that decision. The protest had been the biggest since Hasina was re-elected for the fourth consecutive term since 2008. So she became the prime minister in 2008-9, and she has been the prime minister since then. And since then, these protests have been the largest protests. She had led the country through the economic growth. Actually, if I talk about the rate of economic growth of Bangladesh, that was in numerical terms more than India. But Bangladesh is not a large economy. It is an underdeveloped economy. It was poised to become a developing economy. In that medium category or middle category, it was expected to be placed, and that definitely will be impacted. And she also cracked down on the opposition. Opposition, see, Zia Khaleda was under arrest, the leader of BNP. She was arrested on corruption charges. So she had a crackdown on the opposition, on the media, and as well as on the civil society. Means she was curbing liberalism in Bangladesh. She means Sheikh Hasina was curbing liberalism in Bangladesh. That was also a reason for frustration among the people, which came out in the form of these protests. This had made her unpopular, and the youth coming out on the streets was the tipping point because, all these things were there. What does her exit mean for India? Her 17-year tenure, and she departed from it. She was a friend of India. She was heavy, or she was very much strict against the radicals, the anti India elements, the Islamic hardliners. And obviously, if she was hard core against her, those people. It was in India's favor. And India has lost a trusted partner in the region. Hasina has been a friend to India, and New Delhi has worked closely with her on countering terrorist groups operating out of Bangladesh. And this partnership brought the two countries closer together. In fact, the trade between India and Bangladesh also grew, manifold. It was believed that India and Bangladesh are going through a golden patch. The trade during the COVID years also increased rapidly between both the countries. However, issues remained like the Teesta River water sharing and all. But yes, overall, relations were good. Now, India has been supportive of Sheikh Hasina. Obviously, India will be supportive of Sheikh Hasina, but India has been careful with its comments on the ongoing issues over there and have described them as internal matters of Bangladesh. But when Sheikh Hasina sought help from India, India could not, deny her help. India said कि भाई अतिथि देवो भव, come, ठीक है. But India will have to answer some tough questions that why is India supporting an unpopular leader in Bangladesh now? When she was in power, she was definitely doing things which was in India's favor. But how India will tackle this situation now, that is something which will be crucial to watch for us as aspirants now. Will India insulate itself from her unpopularity? Since she has landed in India, it would mean New Delhi will have to work towards ensuring her safety. That would be our responsibility, and would face some questions from the new regime in Dhaka about giving refuge to an unpopular leader. India would also face questions from the West because West is too much, like this, ki bhai, why India is supporting such an unpopular leader, why India is supporting a leader which was promoting autocracy and not the true principles of liberalism or democracy. All these things, all these questions will come. But, at times the West was also supporting her till the time America was stationed over here in Afghanistan. America was in support of Sheikh Hasina because she was hard on the Islamic terrorists over there. And Islamic terrorists were also on the hit list of Americans. But now Americans have changed their viewpoint about her. This is how, convenient it is for the West. But we as a country cannot depart because she has, done a lot for India, or she has done a lot of things which were in favor of India. Although both those things which were done by her were in favor of Bangladesh also. Like, if you are cracking down upon the terrorists groups in your country, definitely you are doing a favor to your country as well. So there is a real risk of blowback from the Bangladeshi people now. The Bangladeshi people, there's this anti-Hasina sentiment over there, and we have harbored Hasina over here. We have given her refuge over here. So we will have to face the tough questions coming from the Bangladeshi people as well. Who will be in power in Dhaka? A matter of concern for India. Because, see, the opposition, BNP, does not share good, I would say, relations with India. BNP is considered to be more pro Pakistan. And pro-Pakistan means pro-China also. And she means Sheikh Hasina. Awami League has been more pro-India. And India has had an unpleasant experience with BNP and the Jamaat-e Islami is another political outfit over there. So that will be a big, concern for India, that who will be in power in Bangladesh. The situation would well arise again that these people will be there. And, you know, a situation for India overall, if we see on the western side, along the LOC, we are not having good times with Pakistan, increased number of terrorist attacks. On the LAC, line of actual control with China, we are having problems since 2020. Nepal has also become contentious. There have been political instability in Nepal. Now the Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, does not share good relations with India. This situation in Bangladesh has unfolded now. So some people were equating this situation in Bangladesh with that of Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. Actually, if we see the scenes that protesters have rammed in the Prime Minister's house or protesters have taken over the parliament over there, we can equate it. But yes, the circumstances in Bangladesh were quite different from the circumstances in Sri Lanka or, for that matter, Afghanistan. Now, who will be in power in Dhaka? Will we be able to extend our support to that government over there? Will that government be more tilted towards Pakistan and China as compared to India? All these are questions of grave concerns for India. Yes, they are. What would be the role of Army Chief? General Wakar has held a meeting with two important leaders of the main opposition Jatiya Party. But yes, he has proclaimed himself as the interim ruler of Bangladesh, and military has established interim government in Bangladesh. In a major development, BNP leader Khaleda Zia, who was under arrest due to a corruption case since 2018, she has been released by the president of Bangladesh. Now let's see how things unfold over there in Bangladesh. Concerns for India. Concern number one, India's trade, which was increasing with Bangladesh, it will be impacted. It is believed that India and Bangladesh were going through a golden patch when we were talking about trade. That definitely is going to be impacted. Second, anti-India terrorist groups can become more active in that region. That is definitely not good news for India. More immigration into India from Bangladesh can happen. It is believed that more than 1 crore Hindus live in Bangladesh. They may be targeted over there. They will be left with no choice except to migrate to India, because the opposition party like BNP and all, they are more of Islamic hardliners. They definitely are going to target the minorities over there. And there were some videos also surfacing from Bangladesh where Hindus were targeted. Now, with CAA in place, that is Citizenship Amendment Act in place, which denies citizenship to the Muslims from Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and gives citizenship to the non-Muslims from these countries. So if non-Muslims will come in here in India more and more from Bangladesh, India will be left with no choice apart from giving them citizenship. That can create a lot of chaos here in India as well. So that is there. Indian citizenship laws are also inclined towards granting citizenship to non-Muslims from Bangladesh. This will increase pressure on India. Then overall stability in the region will be negatively impacted. Obviously, it is going to have spillover effects. Like those protests in Bangladesh definitely are going to impact India. In fact, they've started impacting India. Crimes like human and drug trafficking, crimes against women, etc., can increase. Obviously, sexual atrocities and all, definitely these can be increased against women. Now, what can India do? Now, as of now, India has not said much, done much. But yes, that big brother tag with India, although India says that this has been diluted, this stand of India has been diluted, but that tag remains there intact with India owing to the realities. Economically, we are the strongest. Militarily, we are the strongest in the region, that is South Asian region. Culturally, we are the strongest in the region. So it would be inevitable for India to jump into this conflict. But whatever India will be doing, India definitely will be keeping in mind its national interests. India definitely will have to deal with the nexus of China and Pakistan in dealing with the current situation, because China and Pakistan will definitely be, being supportive of Bangladesh and the current regime in Bangladesh, which is, you know, kind of anti-India. So, following steps can be taken by India. First is establish dialogue as soon as possible with the regime in Bangladesh, whichever regime is there, military, non-military, whichever regime is there. Strengthen border security. Definitely, it has to be strengthened so that crimes against the crimes along the border can be controlled. Immigration can be controlled. Robust intelligence gathering and sharing should be done, so that we should be knowing that what is brewing against India in Bangladesh. Give humanitarian assistance and relief to Bangladesh. Indulge with global stakeholders to restore normalcy in Bangladesh. But the global, leaders are busy with conflict in Russia, Ukraine, conflict in Israel, Palestine region, the West Asia is on the boil. So, will they look towards South Asia, or will the global agencies like UN look diligently towards South Asia? That is again a big question which will be answered with time. Free and fair democracy should be advocated as the way forward. So that is the most, I would say, acceptable thing which should be there. Actually, people were also wanting this. India is also wanting this. So this is how things can go ahead by India. Now the MCQs. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. The students' protest in Bangladesh has led to ousting of the PM. Students in Bangladesh had been demanding reservation, which was denied by the government. Which of these statements are true? Only one, only two, both one and two, neither one nor two. Consider the following pairs with respect to reservation in Bangladesh and mark how many of them have been correctly matched. Quantum means 30%, 10%, 5%. Category means reserved for family members of veterans who had fought for Bangladesh's liberation in 1971, means freedom fighters. Women and people from underdeveloped districts, 10%. Members of tribal communities, 5%. Only one pair is correctly matched. Only two pairs are correctly matched. All the pairs are correctly matched. None of the pairs are correctly matched. You have to tell. Third, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Sheikh Hasina had been the PM of Bangladesh since 2009. The main opposition party, that is Bangladesh Nationalist Party, contested 2024 general elections but could not get more than 50 seats. Only one, only two, both one and two, neither one nor two. Which of these statements are correct? And the last question for the day, which of the following can be the concerns for India due to political turmoil in Bangladesh? Decreased exports to Bangladesh, more immigration into India, more crimes along the border. Only one and two, only two and three, or all of the above. You have to carefully look at these options and answer. Now, the answers to yesterday's questions. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Bailey's Bridge was invented by an American civil engineer during the Second World War. This is invented by an English civil engineer. It was invented during the Second World War. This part is correct, but this part is wrong, which makes this statement wrong. Bailey's Bridge is pre-assembled. This is correct. So B is the correct answer for this particular question. Where and when in India has the Bailey's Bridge come into use? During the 1965 war with Pakistan? No, it was during the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. India participated in that. During the flash floods in Uttarakhand in 2021? This is true. In areas along the Indo-China border? This is true. So, only 2 and 3 is going to be the correct answer to this question. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. This was the third question actually. It has been marked as one. Indira Point is located on the Great Nicobar Island. Yes, the southernmost point of India, the southernmost island of India. Andaman and Nicobar group of islands are separated by 10-degree channel. This statement is also true. So C is going to be the correct answer. We saw it through that map which was there yesterday of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Fourth, the Great Nicobar Island project can lead to greater presence of India in the Indian Ocean region. Yes. More development in the Andaman and Nicobar Island? Yes. So both 1 and 2 are correct. So this is going to be the C is going to be the correct answer. And last question, which High Court has the jurisdiction over Andaman and Nicobar Island? This was factual. And yes, we, discussed a glimpse of it. Madras High Court, no doubt Tamil Nadu is the closest to Andaman and Nicobar Island, but yes, it does not have jurisdiction over it. Andhra Pradesh, second closest, does not have. Odisha, third closest, does not have. Kolkata High Court has the jurisdiction over Andaman and Nicobar Island. So D is going to be the correct answer of this question. Now with this, we come to an end of today's session. I hope you have understood the topic well. Keep an eye on the developments happening in Bangladesh, and obviously you need to be UPSC centric. So I will be back tomorrow with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste. Jai Hind.